Question number 7, Jami-Lee Ross.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. My question is to the Minister of Local Government and asks, does she stand by all her answers to oral and written questions?
The Honourable Nanaia Mahuta.
Mr Speaker, yes, I do, within the context that they were given.
Point of order, Mr Speaker.
A point of order, Jami-Lee Ross.
Mr Speaker, you've ruled previously that supplementaries must flow from previous answers. I'm in an unusual situation now where the Minister has just said she agrees with her answers to oral questions and her answers to written questions, and they actually differ now because she's corrected a whole lot of written questions.
Member can try and ask a supplementary if he wants to.
Okay. Does she stand by her oral answer on 1 February 2018, where she confirmed she had received no correspondence from the Whangarei District Council, or does she stand by her written answer, where she says she has received correspondence from the Whangarei District Council on 7 November 2017?
Mr Speaker, point of order.
A point of order, the Honourable Nanaia Mahuta.
I seek a point of clarification.
No, there's no such thing.
Okay. Yes, I stand by the answers that I gave, but for further clarification, I provided and included administrative adjustments to written answers, which included congratulation letters, invitations, thank you cards, and Christmas cards.
Supplementary. Is she now confident that all her answers to written questions are accurate?
Mr Speaker, as best I can, yes.
Supplementary. Does she stand by her newly corrected answer to written question 15161, where she said that she had received no correspondence from the Masterton District Council between 26 October 2017 and 28 November 2017?
Mr Speaker, can I repeat for administrative accuracy? I included invitations, Christmas cards and congratulations as a part of the answer that was amended.
Point of order.
A point of order, Jami-Lee Ross.
Mr Speaker, I seek leave to table a letter from the Masterton District Council Mayor from 3 November 2017 to the Honourable Nanaia Mahuta.
There's not a point of order.
Could we get some clarification on the leave? Can I ask if the letter was written by the Mayor in his capacity as Mayor?
No, the answer is that no. If people are unhappy with it being tabled, they can decline. The letter has been described as being a letter of a particular date from the Mayor. If it's been inaccurately described, then there are consequences for the person who sought leave. Is there any objection to it being tabled? There appears to be none.
Supplementary.
Supplementary, Jami-Lee Ross.
How can we have confidence in any of her answers when she has twice stood in this House and said she stands by her written answers, then her office withdraws 67 answers for written question, and then after correction, she still can't provide accurate answers to this Parliament?
Mr Speaker, we ensured that we were accurate in terms of the extent of the administrative response to the request. We have included correspondence which otherwise might have been considered purely administrative so as to improve the answer to the member.
Agree.
Jami-Lee Ross.
How does the Minister stand by her answer that is purely an administrative error when in her answers to written questions she told me she had received no correspondence from any council for the first month that she was Minister of Local Government? Does she think that was plausible? Was it her error or an administrative error?
Mr Speaker, at the early stages of becoming a minister, the clarity around emails and the nature of whether they were considered correspondence or not is a matter which either that member wants the answer or he doesn't. At the point at which we were seeking to assure the member that we were covering all the administration components of the request that was made, we did decide to include invitations, congratulations letters and Merry Christmas cards.
Question number 8, Willow Jean Prime.